Continuing from our previous video on the environmental protection regulations of China and the new environmental protection taxes on the discharge of pollutants, I would like to talk briefly about tax incentives. It is very interesting to see that the regulations have put some levels of discharges, some levels of acceptable pollution, below which you will get tax incentives. If you're about 30% below the threshold, your tax will be reduced by 25%. And if you're 50% below the threshold, the tax will be cut in half, that is reduced by 50%. Above these permitted standards, obviously, you might have the visit of the environmental protection agencies. So we just talked about the new tax on the new Chinese regulations, the implementation regulations for the environmental protection tax law. And I would like to tell you briefly what I believe is the most important, the most interesting things in terms of tax incentives. Basically, the law sets levels of pollutions, levels of discharges of pollutants into the environment that are acceptable and that are taxed yet. However, if the companies, if your company discharges about 25% less, 30% less, I'm sorry, than the acceptable level, the tax will be cut down by 25%. And if it is 50% less, the tax will be cut down by 50%, cut in half. So there definitely is an incentive here to reduce pollution as much as possible. For people who've worked in China for a long time and know China well, you would believe that, you know, between the reality of things and the reporting, there is a very large margin. However, the Environmental Protection Agency has carried out between January and November 2017 35,600 investigations. That is a progression, basically doubling the number of investigations from the year before, which means that the government is very serious about reducing pollution in China. And you will see, if you ever lived in the beautiful city of Beijing, that, for example, the pollution went from Chernobyl levels to a very acceptable level, and making the capital a very lovely place to live again. This is one of the 3 tough battles that the PRC will have to. I apologize for using a very communist approach to this. It is actually the terms used by the government. These are the 3 tough battles that the PRC will have to wage over the coming years. And this implies that the foreign companies coming into the market and all the new entrants will be especially watched and will have to apply the regulations very seriously. The projects, the feasibility studies and the feasibility of the projects will have to be reviewed in light of these regulations, the environmental protection regulations and the environmental protection tax law. You will have to pay extra attention to all of this in order to be able to carry out business properly in the PRC. Do not hesitate to contact us if you have any doubt on or any question on the environmental protection tax law or on its application to your business. You will find the links below and in the description of this video. Thank you.
Cool.